Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fox's Doomed Expedition. That's right, I'm your host, Get Good Fox, and this is some more Oxygen Not Included Spaced Out. And, last time we left off, we were doing okay. And it's time to continue doing okay. That's the way I'll describe it. Our goal is gonna be to, I'm gonna finish. Oh, wait, nope. I did have another goal. I just, when you first wake up, it's kind of like, what do I need to do? I know exactly what I need to do. I'm going to be solving our food problem. That's right. So last time we did, what did we do? We solved the poop problem. We solved the bedding problem. We solved the oxygen problem. Now we need to solve the food problem. There's a lot. This game is all about problems, if you didn't know. I need to put. So these are here just so that they have a place to deposit things. These are going to be seeds. All seeds are going to be deposited here. I'm going to set this to priority 4 because I just want it to be priority. I don't want them to do it very often. Like, it's something to do when I don't have them assigned to do anything else. Over here, cultivatable soil. I want this to be dirt. And that's because, everything's going to be made out of dirt here, so they're just going to move dirt, and they'll have to fill it up with dirt periodically. So it's just a convenient way to it's basically like, if you're taking care of, if you have to do like some, here we go. Let's make this probably going to be a 7. And I'm going to plant. And once I plant, I'm going to use the backslash shortcut, and that's going to copy it to all of these. And now what they're going to do is, if I hit the P button, it's going to show they're all priority 7, and they're all planting a mealwood. Mealwood, I should probably talk a little bit about that. So we can plant different things. So you can see here a mealwood, a bog bucket, the blossom seed, grub fruit. Most of these are grayed out because while they are plantable, we don't have any seeds. So the only option we have are mealwood and blossom seeds. Now mealwood has the advantage of being very easy to cultivate. That's the key about it. Very easy to cultivate, but it's not a very. I mean, it's nutritious in the sense it'll keep us alive. The problem is that. Okay, now you're gonna see I'm planting it. Now, we don't have enough seeds for all of these, but they can just be left that way, and if we leave them that way, as we discover more seeds, they will just plant more of them, so it's not that big of a deal. So, the upside to mealwood is that it's not a very temperamental plant. The only consideration for it, for the most part, is the temperature. Things need to be, over here getting a little warm, so these ones might have trouble growing. But, other than that, it's just temperature. The downside is that they're very yucky. It makes people sad to eat them. It lowers their morale. But in the beginning, that's really not a big, that's not a concern. Or at least it's not currently a concern. So the thing I want to work on next is probably unlocking the advanced research, because if we get a little further in, you'll see there's different levels of research. There's blue, pink, and then eventually yellow. So the early ones, so all of them use blue. You always use blue. Oh wow, there's even an orange. There's a third level of research. Good gravy. So early is blue, and you're gonna use blue on all of them. The mid-grade though is pink, and to unlock pink, where is pink at? It's around here someplace. I'll find it. Don't worry. I will eventually find it. It is there. It is. So we need to get advanced research, and that's the unlock right there. So this has a prerequisite, and that would be employment first, and then we can go into advanced research. So first we have to unlock this. This takes 15 research points, and then we got to unlock that. It's 20 research points for a total of 35 research points. So I'm just going to let them chill for a bit while they do that. I'm actually going to probably continue expanding all the way to the top. And what I'm going to do is just mark the different floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be fine. I'm just going to mark the different floors, because that's where, that's just like where the different floors of the base are going to be located. I'll do it in this direction as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we'll be drilling all the way to the bottom in both directions. Now, okay, so food, we should be able to have that. We should have food under control pretty soon. We've got the poop situations under control. it's about to be less in control, but one thing at a time. We've got the bedding situation. Let's go ahead and build one more bed, just in expectation of another character. The food situation is coming under control. So what are the next problems going to be? Well, heat is going to become a problem. Heat is a very long-term problem. These are just going to get hot, and it's just going to slowly heat up the base. And the problem with heat is eventually the plants are going to have a problem with that. Fortunately, although heat is a problem, it isn't a very fast problem. That's the good news about heat. So, we have time. Another problem is poop is going to become complicated. We're going to need like a composter. We need a way to dispose of poop. Same with water. We're going to have to build like a cistern, some kind of like a sewage system for that. So basically, for every solution you introduce, a new problem arises, and your goal is to eventually follow all of their problems to their natural conclusion and eventually find a complete solution. So our research is going way faster now, and that's because of Mima getting these upgrades and just getting all of these improvements. So let me go ahead and build a station. The station is useful because it lets us, craft some various things. We don't actually have anything to build at the moment, but that's okay. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I just want to have it built. So the crafting station, yeah, there's nothing to build on it, but that's fine. We need more research before we're able to do anything like that. My next goal is I want to insulate the base. Insulation, I'll admit, that's not a very fast process. Insulation, we would need multiple builders to make it quick, so I might do some of the insulation off screen, and that's because your first protection against heat is controlling how much heat you generate and then controlling how much natural heat transfer from these rocks are much hotter, 84 degrees. If we can insulate these, then we can basically put like a barrier up that will stop just the slow leak of heat from this hot environment. Like, these rocks do an okay job. Wow, we're going so quick. It's very, very nice. I'm very happy with that. Let me just get them some, well, I don't even need to assign them because like they're ordered to collect dirt right now, so they're not wasting any time. Let's see. Let's go ahead and build the supercomputer right here, and then we can connect it up with the wires, and same thing over here. I am specifically hiding the wires in these walls because appearances matter. So let me go ahead and click the decor overlay. Most of our base is really ugly. The red areas mean it's super ugly. Like, this area is very, very ugly. All the areas where there's debris on the ground from, like, wreckage from the stuff we've been mining, very ugly. Outhouse area, very ugly. And basically, every day, the game calculates how ugly the environment has been for your duplicates, and it basically affects their morale on that. So, the next thing I want to do, let's start researching... although, before I jump into insulative tiles, one thing we could do is meal preparation. That would fix some of the ugliness to an extent. I don't really think ugliness is a really big deal because we don't have a lot of upgrades. Upgrades are, actually, you know what? I think I want the pole. Like, let's improve our transportation for our... No, I know exactly what we need. We need airflow tiles. Here we go. Airflow tiles right here. Yeah, because carbon dioxide is going to become a problem. So let's start getting the air. Basically, we're going to start making, like, just improvements to the base in general. I need to give them some other general orders as well. They're on... okay. Well, keep getting distracted. One thing at a time right now. So let's go ahead and deconstruct this, and we are going to make another floor. What is that? That's igneous rock. We're not going to cut through that. Like this. Let's remove this. This is going to be the poo-poo room. The poo-poo room is going to be where we do something about, like, all of these little, like, arrows? Eventually they're going to reach full capacity, and someone is going to have the very pleasant task of, yeah, a little bit of plumbing action, shall we say. And we're going to need a place to put said plumbing. Well, let's put the skill scrubber somewhere. The skill scrubber is not something I plan to use at the moment, but I'll just build it. Why not? Rocketry, telescope, not something we need at the moment. Wait. Okay, so what we need to do, we pause the game, we're going to hit this, top priority, and we're just going to have them build this right there, and then I'm going to put them on red alert. That should get Mary out of here. Turn red alert off because that stresses people out. What I did there is I used the maximum priority thing just so that they would drop everything that they're doing. Oh, and we're still on a maximum priority. Let me turn that off. So we'll go like this, and now I'll set it back to 5. There we go. Now it's normal. We did lose our water pump. That's a temporary thing, though. It's not that big of a deal. Drilling this, all of this stuff here is really useful. So the algae is basically, if you want to know what all the resources do, this green stuff is algae. This device here, the oxygen diffuser, consumes the algae. Like, it needs the algae in order to actually build anything to begin with. Or to create the oxygen. This shiny stuff, you know, if I scroll the map around, you'll see it's reflective. That's copper metal. Copper metal is used for mainly electronics, but there are some buildings that have to be built out of metal, and copper is the basic metal. I'm a little worried. I'm watching this carefully because sometimes these characters will drill and build. Yep, it just now happened. So this character is going to need a hand. Let's go ahead and cut this and make this a maximum priority. Right there. Okay, we can take that off. Let's move this back down to priority 5. You got to be a little careful. Like I've played the game enough to know like there are some trouble spots. And they can do that because if a character can't breathe and it gives you the warning like character is suffocating, they don't tell you that until they're like basically like 60% nearly dead. Okay, oh, looks like our printing pot is charged up. That means we can choose a new one. So we've got coal. Coal's always nice. Blossom seeds, don't really need that. Digging and tidying is okay. Tidying, suit decorating, and we do need someone who decorates, but I'm not really interested in... I'm mainly looking for more people who can dig and drill, so let's go with more coal. Coal will become useful in the future when we make a coal power plant. As you can see, we're still finding more seeds over time. Anytime you see these little, like, cracked areas, it means there's an item inside of them. You can actually see it's like the feature that says buried object. And the buried object, it could be a variety of things, but one of the things it can be is a seed. So as we drill these things out, we are able to find more seeds. As you can see, construction efforts are really, really slowing down because one person is charging these up, one person is on the computer. It's what can you do though? Okay, so now we're gonna do this. So these airflow these airflow tiles are designed, basically the way they work is, let me just start assigning them real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks fine to me. So what these airflow tiles do is they're a solid block, meaning we can walk over them, and they are too tight. They don't allow liquid to pass through them, but they do allow gas to pass through them. And what this means is all of the carbon dioxide will eventually sink through these basically little holes in the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then once we have these, we can use the others as a template. And we can just start making these airflow tiles all over the place. And the other thing it does is this thing is pumping out oxygen, but because there's not a lot of airflow, basically the oxygen can really only escape through this pneumatic door. The pneumatic door also acts like a airflow tile, like air is capable of passing through but it doesn't allow solid objects through. I do believe water can pass through the pneumatic door, but that's the whole point of this. So this is going to allow the base to pressurize with oxygen better, and at the same time, it's going to allow us to have the heavier gases like the carbon dioxide. There are other gases too, like we might find, so this is hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is lighter. There's actually a little puff of hydrogen gas right there. It's lighter than oxygen, so it'll have a tendency to go upwards, whereas the carbon dioxide's heavier, so it has a tendency to sink downwards. And I'm just gonna let them do this for a bit. Just let them get all these air. You know, like I said, I don't want to overload them with tasks, and I really want to get these airflow tiles in. The next thing we're gonna get in is probably the Pooperizer. I think I forget what it is. Well, it's a compost bin, also known as the Pooperizer. But eventually, like I said, this is going to cause the carbon dioxide to fall to the bottom, and then because we know it's going to fall to the bottom, I can build a carbon skimmer that will eventually just remove the carbon dioxide altogether, which will once again remove more gas from the base, allowing a greater pressurization of oxygen. Now, the carbon will never go away completely because every single time our duplicates exhale, they are exhaling carbon dioxide. Not a whole lot of it, but the main source of the carbon dioxide are actually just pockets of it. Like, for example, this is all carbon dioxide, like 1 kilogram per tile. That's where a large concentration of the carbon dioxide is coming from. They are having to hold their breath here because this is all carbon dioxide, it's not oxygen. Which is annoying. It does reduce their efficiency, but what can you do? That's gonna annoy me. We have to drill that one spot out. Let's go ahead and do that. And this. And what we can do now is begin researching the Pooperizer. Where is the Pooperizer? Pooperizer is... Oh, we already have the Pooperizer. Nice. Okay, let's build some Pooperizers then. Pooperizer, where is it? It's under plumbing, I think? No, it's under refinement. Pooperizer. Let's build one here. I like to have two, typically. Just gonna build, like... I don't know, one there and one there. It doesn't really matter. I just like to have two of them. The Pooperizer is one of the ways that we can deal with the waste byproduct of pooping. Like I said, if we watch we're gonna be creepy. Let's watch them poop. You see the arrow going up? See, the arrow goes up every time they poop. Same with over here. This green juice, this yellow-green, like, poo-poo juice is filling up. And the yellow-green poo-poo juice that fills up, eventually that's gonna have to be changed out. And we're gonna need a place to put that water, otherwise it'll keep leaking polluted oxygen, and that's gonna become a problem. It's gonna make me sad, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to be sad. I'm probably gonna be sad, though. It's probably an inevitable thing. We need to choose a new research, though. So the next research on my list, here's some things that I want. I would like the smart battery, that's under the sound amplifiers. I want the pole, because that allows us to move around the base more efficiently. But I also want we're already, okay, let's go ahead and get this. And that's because we already have pressure management. Also, we also want decontamination. We want both of those things. So this is unlocking a lot of useful things that I want. So first thing we're gonna do, though, is we're gonna get temperature modulation. Temperature modulation is going to allow us to begin insulating the base. Like I said, unfortunately, insulation is, it's time consuming because while it doesn't take very long to build a normal base tile, an insulation tile is like a very advanced version of a base tile because it's packed full of insulation. It's very time consuming to build. And that's just because each tile is probably like 5 or 6 times longer to build than a single regular tile, so it's a thing. I'll just put it that way, it's a thing. Okay, so we have the Pooperizers. We're gonna set them to priority 8 because, well, it turns out that might be important. Let's set these up to priority 6. And as you can see, now that they don't have any assignment, what they are doing is they're gathering dirt, and they're putting the dirt in the storage bin as a low priority task. And since it's a lower priority task, it means they will not do it at the expense of the other things I assign them, which is exactly what I want. I don't want them to, like, you know, store things in the bin when we have more important things to do. So we're gonna be turning this into a room. Like so. I'm gonna go ahead and just drill all of this out. Like this entire area. We need the resources, like the metal is useful. All of this stuff is very useful. And on top of that, we can use it for creating more rooms. So that probably stopped this from counting as a room. That's not good. So I'm gonna need to build a ladder here and a tile right here. In fact, I'm just going to tile the entire area. The reason I'm building these ladders here is because they won't be tall enough to reach some of these. So I'm just going to build the ladders temporarily here so they can reach them. And you're seeing one of the limitations of only having 3 duplicates. If we had more people, we would be able to like assign more people to these tasks. And as you can see, drilling is really important. Like the drilling skill, you do so much drilling, and the harder the material is, the longer it takes to drill through it. And also building is really important. Like the higher your building skill, the faster you can build things. Oh, and let me tell you, a person with a high building skill, it makes such a huge difference. Someone gained a skill point there. I didn't get to see it. There we go. So once we fill this up, this will once again restore this as counting as a room. So now, so you can see it flickering in and out between its qualification of being a room and whatnot. And the reason for that is because it's not enclosed enough. Like, basically, there's a limit to how many tiles the room can be, and once you exceed the interior design, then it loses its status as a room. Because if we look here, we can see the barracks, the minimum size is 12 tiles, and the maximum size is 64 tiles. And that's what's happening. Like, when we punch a hole through this, it's basically counting this as part of the room, and so it's exceeding the 64 tile limit. Oh, we can't use advanced research because we don't have water. Okay, hold on a second. I can fix that. I'll just build it here. It'll fit right there just perfectly. Doesn't matter if it looks good or if it makes sense. We're gonna go ahead and build these mesh tiles ahead of time. As you can see, the mesh tile takes a lot longer more time to build. That's just a general concept of the game, that like certain things take longer to build. That's why certain, like these tiles are a really good everyday building material because they're very fast to construct. They don't require a lot of resources. And you want to use the other kinds of tiles more sparingly. Like you want to use them when there's a reason to use it. Over here, we got this is going to become another room. Probably something to boost our morale. Probably a dining room. So food, we just found food. Like that's what this giant thing over here is. Now we can use the computer. So the computer, the supercomputer is used, it's getting very hot very quickly. The supercomputer gets very hot. It uses water as a liquid coolant for it. The water is consumed in the process, so this is basically destroying our water. But, you know, we need the research. The other problem with it is that it gets very hot. Like, you can see that the supercomputer is already approaching 90 degrees. And while the supercomputer will cool down over time, the only reason it cools down is because it gives its heat to the oxygen gas, and so the oxygen gas will get hotter, and over time the oxygen gas will spread out and the temperature will reach an average. And what it is slowly going to do is over time the average temperature of the base is going to increase because the oxygen temperature is going to want to average out with the rest of the base. Like over here it's 74 degrees, over here it's 75, over here, you know, we're seeing some pockets of like 80 degrees. And over time, like it doesn't happen that quickly, but over time the average temperature of our base is going to start going up like one degree by 1 degree, and eventually that is going to cause a problem. It doesn't cause a problem right now, but it will eventually cause a problem. So over here we've got operating and suit wearing, but he's a snorer. Snorers are kind of annoying. Supplying, that's not what I'm looking for. Doctoring, farming, and suit wearing. No, we're going to go with the mirth leaf. Oh, I have not renamed any of the duplicates, and that's because the first episode has not been published yet. And since the first episode has not been published yet, I have not a chance to take anyone's name. So we're going to be using the basic names for a little bit. Okay, people are gathering. Oh, we just got a new upgrade. Let's see what we got. Insulated tiles. Great. And we have some very primitive ways of controlling the temperature at the moment. I'm not sure if we're going to use those just yet. Let me get... I believe I want to get the dining room next. Yes, so we need meal prep. Meal prep will allow us to make this area into like a dining room. In addition to that, I believe I will start insulating right over here. Do we have the ability to dig through... Let me check our skills. Can anyone dig? Yes, you have hard digging, allows us to dig very firm materials, so but what that means is only one person is capable of actually actually drilling through hard materials. So once again, that's another thing that's going to slow us down, and it's another reason why it's a good idea to have multiple people who are capable of drilling, multiple people who are capable of just handling these tasks, because only one person can do it at the moment. These insulative tiles, I will deconstruct them and reconstruct them as necessary. This is probably not going to be that. These are just going to be normal tiles, because this is going to go like this. Like, it's going to look like that. And the inner tiles don't need to be insulated, only the exterior of the base, or if there's a very hot room and I don't want that hot room to escape, the heat to escape, then I can insulate that room. Look how long it takes to build just a single one of these. And that's the thing about an insulated tile. It functions similarly to a normal tile, but it's very resistant to changing temperature. It resists getting cold, and it resists getting hot, and it also does not it doesn't trade temperature with its environment very quickly. It still does. We can look at its properties. You could see right over here, where is it? Thermal conductivity is 0.016. That is very low. It's not nothing. It does transfer heat, but it transfers the heat transfers the heat very slowly. And that's exactly what we want. We want to reduce the, we want to like basically slow down the process of the heat infiltrating our base. And like, if we make another room here, which I do have interest in doing, then I will retile this area and I'll move the stuff around. So we just got another thing unlocked. We got, should be the food thing. Yes, dining room tables. Let's build 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll build a water cooler right in the middle, because presumably more people will be arriving eventually. The water cooler is needed because what we're trying to do is set up a great hall. The first level is the mess hall. It requires a table, and that's it, as long as it's a table and it's the correct size. But we're gonna go to a great hall. A great hall has, so a mess hall gives you 3 morale, which is awesome. A great hall gives you 6 morale though, doubles it. And all you need is a recreational building and a little bit of decor, and a decor item. So this is the recreational building, and we can build the decor item pretty easily. We will need to research it though. Let's go all the way to the bottom. That's gonna be, where are you? Here it is. Artistic expression. So, you know, I'm instead of just drilling, oh, you can see here we go. We're the farming experience, boys. As you can see, the mealwood is super gross looking. Like, the grain actually wriggles around. That's the reason why it lowers people's morale, because it's really gross looking and people think it just creeps out your duplicates. And now they're gonna be eating, get a chunk of that meal lice, that's what it's known as. And you're gonna find that, you know, a lot of the duplicates do not like the flavor of it. Okay, hold on a second, let's watch it. Oh, and we also see that they are now using the mess hall. They're using the mess hall because, you know, it's just an option. So she just drank from the water cooler. This already should count as a mess hall. So because they use the mess hall, they're gonna have +3 morale each time they use it. And what we need to do is, oh, we have skills. I love skills. So let's get another point in researching. That means that Mima is gonna have even more science, and that means researching even faster. That's really good because, like I said, this computer gets very hot, and the less time we spend on it, because we research quicker, the better. You can see the computer is already cooling down. It's down to, 82, down from about, nearly 90 degrees, and that's because it's giving its heat off to the oxygen. So the oxygen is heating up, and the supercomputer is heating down, and eventually the hot oxygen will keep trading heat until it balances out with all of the other oxygen, but the side effect of that is that it's going to cause the entire base to get hotter. More skills already. Super hard digging is going to be really nice. I was thinking about more construction, but right now I think digging is my big priority. We got a lot of stuff to dig right now. Algae, that's a slime. I'm a little, gotta be a little wary about slime. Okay, we just unlocked the first level of our first decor upgrade. This gives us a flower pot. I don't want to use a flower pot though because it does occupy a ground tile. I want the one that hangs from the ceiling. because the ceiling is not something that's really being used. We can see here that this drill uses a red beam. It's the more advanced drill. Basically, you have to have be leveled up to have authorization for it. And the red, with this enhanced drilling speed, not only is this character capable of drilling it through to begin with, you can see the little diamond here. This diamond tells us it's like, it has tier 1 hardness, meaning you need a skill to drill through it. There are tier 2 and tier 3, maybe there's even a tier 4 in terms of hardness, but this character is, not only is she drilling through the rocks in an efficient manner, but if she drills through the previous soft materials, she's going to drill through them even faster than before. So our characters will not be able to get to those, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. That way they can construct this all in a day's work. Okay, so we now can get the hanging one. That would be this right here. Let me go ahead and put it right here, and I'll probably put I just put them right in line with the airflow tiles. And now what we can do is put the mirth seed in. And why mirth seed? It's the only option we've got. So we'll plant one, and then I'll use the / command to copy it over here. And once we do this, this will count as our decor item with a minimum of +20 decor. And let's see how it's looking. So this is, yeah, well, all we need is the Great Hall. We need a decor item with a +20. And once they plant these, that should be it. Let's see. Bam, we're now a Great Hall. So now when they eat in the Great Hall, they're going to get +6 morale. Morale isn't just good for increasing our... It's not just good for allowing us to level up more. It's also good in the sense that you are able to... Let's go ahead and level up this character as well. More farming. Farming is what we're doing right now, so I'm going to upgrade her hat. Every time you get one of these, you get a new hat, so I'm going to improve farming. Just kind of lets me tell who is who. But we are overrunning our time, so I'm going to let it hit night, and that's going to be that. So overall, I would say our base is looking pretty nice. We've got the poop situation. We're already composting some poop right here. Composting the poop will turn it into regular dirt from poop, but it's hot. Like, you can actually see that this dirt is 127 degrees, which is once again contributing towards cooking our base. But like I said, heat, it is a problem, there's no doubt about that, but it is a later problem. There is still time to deal with things before we get to heat. If we can find some ice, that would be a very early way to cope with the heat. But that's going to be the end of today's episode. Like I said, if you got any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them. I don't know, this is the first time I'm really diving into Spaced Out, but it's still oxygen not included at the core, and I remember most of the basic concepts. So if you're having trouble with the game, feel free to ask, and I will tell you. If you want to be a duplicant, reply to the pinned comment. The pinned comment is where I go to check. And yeah, I'll see you in the next episode. So like the video if it was entertaining, subscribe for future Oxygen Not Included content, and of course remember that you don't have to be good to get good.